Hey everybody, it's Mark Schultz here with Digital Aircraft, and welcome to our live broadcast. I'm so excited because this is a new year, and we're focusing on aviation, we're focusing on digital, and we're focusing on the success of the entire industry. Today I'm going to have a discussion with you about air traffic control. I'm going to talk to you about what we're going to be doing this year and some of the things that are demanding. We know that there's a lot of impact on the industry right now as far as cost is concerned. We know there's impact on people that are moving. There's some capacity issues, but what I'm going to talk to you today is about air traffic control and a few vendors that are helping us to impact that and to be able to make that successful. Hey, I'm standing here at the airport. I have a air traffic control tower. It's over me right now, and I got to admit to you, one thing that I love is aviation. I love being at the airports. I love being in airplanes. It's been that way my entire life. Ever since I was a kid, I would go up into small airplanes and fly. I started flying when I was, I think, 13 years old. I got my student pilot license when I was 15 and a half years old. I was flying with a pilot license by the time I was 16. Aviation has been passionate my entire life. So the air traffic control tower behind me, that's an important thing. Hey, how do we help the systems that we're involved in to create success? There's many challenges. As a matter of fact, just recently, we saw some air traffic control issues that came up here in the United States. It actually caused the entire system to shut down. That hasn't happened for 20 years. What are the things that we do to create optimizations in the industry? How do we create success? How do we do that within managed cost successes? And how do we do it safely? And we do it the best we can. Let's have some discussion about that. One of the things I'm going to talk to you today about is not just air traffic control, but electronic flight bags. And I'm going to talk to you about some of the vendors that are going on out there. But it's really exciting to me, really, to be involved within the industry. And I'm here today at the airport. And at the airport, I'm actually here just by the ramp. And behind me, I have some aircraft that are getting ready to go right now. And it's just really fun to be able to see that. Before we all took some time off the last couple of years and spent some time in our homes, we spent a lot of time in the airplanes. I think the last year that I flew for a full year, full time, I think I flew 650,000 miles, that year, which was incredible. But unfortunately, that meant I slept a couple of nights a week in the airplane. But airlines are such an important part of this process. Efficiency, timeliness, schedule, things like that. We have to look at air traffic control. We have to look at maintenance. We have to look at parts and materials. We have to look at finance. We have to look at tickets. Many different things. For those of you that watched some of the broadcasts that we did last year, we had a real focus on digital, and we had a real focus on the implementation of digital, and many of that focused on blockchain. But there's so many vendors out there today that are helping us to be successful that we're moving from paper situations to digital situations. Now, you might say to yourself, well, I work at a company that's all completely digital today. Well, most companies aren't completely digital. I travel a lot, and when I go travel people, I find out that, even 60, 70% of the maintenance operations that are out there today are still operating on paper. As a matter of fact, I'm helping a company right now to be able to implement digital in the maintenance hangar. And listen, it's a very large airline in the world. And look, here we are today, and now in 2023, and somebody's implementing digital within that operation. That is not an unusual situation. So who are the people that are out there looking at these things? What are some of the challenges that we have today? Well, look, we have efficiency challenges with, getting things done effectively and successfully and safe. We have challenges with cost. We have challenges with the availability of parts that are out there. We have challenges with cost effectiveness, with labor situations. We have challenges with having adequate revenue. All those things impact the operation. But the bottom line is, how do we optimize that? Okay. And the thing is that regionally it's different. And in the north and the south in the U.S., it's different. Like, for example, I'm down here in Florida today. In Florida, the operations increase during the wintertime. The rest of the United States, after the holidays, the operations go down because there's 2 or 3 feet of snow that just came in some of the north areas. These factors all affect what's happening in the industry. But we have to be in a situation where we can provide successful, timely operations that are cost effective. Now, there's big challenges out there. Let me show you a couple of them. There's cost challenges that exist out there today. There's parts and materials challenges that exist. There's labor challenges that exist because of availability and because of cost. All right. And so some of the things that we need to do, and I do, is I talk to different vendors that are out there, and I say, who has solutions which can help us to be successful in the operation? Listen, what I want to tell you about today is, one of the things that I'm going to do over the next few weeks, I talk to different vendors all around the world, and and I talk to them about what are they doing to be able to help us to be effective within this industry. How are we more efficient? How do we reduce costs, right? There'll be many things I'll talk about, like parts this year and maintenance this year. And one of the things that we're going to specifically talk about over the next few weeks is EFBs, or electronic flight bags. You know, in my career, I've implemented EFBs in different ways. I actually used to work at Jeppesen and Boeing in the past, and you know, they deliver charts and maps to EFBs, but there's other companies that deliver products and services to electronic flight bags. And again, as we've said, electronic flight bags, just like the bag that the pilot used to carry around or the mechanics used to go get. And so this company is called Yonder. And Yonder is a company who's come out in the last few years, and they're very, very efficient and very, very effective from my experience of knowing people in the industry at producing and supporting documentation like minimum equipment lists and policies and procedures and different documents that are required. And there's three main components that I see that are successful. They have a delivery element that goes onto a tablet or a device that the consumers use. They have an offer editing process which exists. And then they have a server process which basically enables that all to be successful. Hey, in order for us to understand more details about these things can be implemented in different operations, I've organized a webinar, and it's going to be on February 8th, and it's actually going to happen at 12 o'clock Eastern time here in the United States. You can figure out the time elsewhere around the world. And in that webinar, basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about those challenges that exist and how they're being solved basically in the industry. Hey, join me this year as I find different elements where we're focusing on ways that we can challenge, challenge the business processes that are in place, how we implement digital, and how we optimize those things in order to be able to create a more effective organization, a more effective operation, and one which is cost effective and can overcome all the challenges that we see in the U.S. Join me on that day. You're going to really enjoy this webinar that we're doing. Hey, thanks for following today. It's really fun to be out here in this great weather and in an area at the airport where I can hear airplanes over my shoulder. It does get me excited, and I want to continue to be able to help that to be successful in our industry. Join me on February 8th at 12 as we talk about EFBs, electronic flight bags. Have a great day. Fair winds and following seas to you. Thanks, and bye for now.